codes. If you, for those of you who are familiar with door kickers, you would understand what this is, but this is better explained by doing it. But anyway, if you want to understand what the abilities are, just hover over it and you'll get the tooltips. So we're doing the group heal, and then I'm clicking this. This is the tech, and what it does is provide power to the other units. The blue bar is your power. It also serves as your it powers up the suits of the units, which also serve as your armor. So as you get hit, it gets absorbed, but you lose the power. So at a certain point, you will need the tech to recharge your units. And you can always go back to these to the things that are being covered here in the tutorial by pressing this button over here or pressing escape, and then just going back to the tutorial, and then you could see all even the loading tips. So as you can see, the blue bar is getting filled up, so we're just waiting for that to happen. But as the tech charges the power for the units, you will see that his battery, he's the only one who has 3 bars because of the for his battery pack. So now that we're all good to go, the next most important element in this game is the cover. So as you can see, I have the tech selected, and anything that looks like a cover, you just hover it and you should be able to see a cover hologram. And once you see that, just right click it and it will go. So I'm gonna send my medic there, and then I'm gonna have the CQS stand by here for a little bit until the other units are in position. So okay, so this is a tutorial for weapon range. Let me show that. You will see that the cone, each unit will have its own cone, and it's easier explained in the game. So here we go. So if I see here, so you could hover over a unit, and you will see that this unit has that cone. This is the what we call EWR, which is the effective weapon range. And your units are pretty disciplined, so they won't fire at any enemy if the enemy is outside their effective weapon range. So as you can see, comparing the close quarters specialist, the CQS, and the tech or the medic, the medic has bigger cones, so longer distance, but the EWR is what also differentiates from unit to unit. So the CQS is very good in close range, very deadly in close range, but the key here is to get them to get the enemies within their range so that they could do their thing. For the other units, they have a longer range, but they have a shorter range of rate of fire. Maybe the damage is a little bit less, and so on. So as you play, just keep that in mind, and you'll see the difference as you get to learn play. So what I just did there, let me see, I clicked and dragged to have a face direction. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm telling this unit to what do you call that? Squat all the way to here, and then once he gets here, I want him to face that direction. And then while he's doing that, I'm gonna tell these units to pop out. So you click them, and then you just right click, they'll pop out. So they'll be distracted. And then there you go. And then you could also left click and drag to select multiple units. Okay, so these are the power and health stations tutorial. I'll explain that, but like I said, if you just joined us, if you want to learn or if you forgot a previous tutorial for a command, just press escape and you'll get to this tutorial. While they print. Okay, so right now, okay. So now we've met with some of our of the other units. Then we could click there, but before I do that, so that it's telling me to position my unit there. But I'm anticipating there would be enemies in this area. Because it's a corner, and you would expect that as you go deeper that you'll start encountering enemies. So before I do that, I want to talk about the health and power station. Health and power station work very similar, but also different. So power stations can be accessed by any unit, but the most I guess I'm not able to click on them until I follow the tutorial. But okay, let me see. So I want you to duck. Okay, let me see if they will. Oh, nope, not yet. Okay, so it was telling me to stand and crouch, so that's good. So as you can see, some of these two units have low power, so I would need them to be recharged by the tech. But I could see also that the tech's power, the battery pack is low. So that's one good thing about the power station. If you see any, then get the tech to go there and recharge. And you'll see the bar going up, and you'll see the power from the power station going down as well. So once that is done, I could now go here and start giving power to the guys. So you'll see that there will be a circle. Any unit that's within the circle gets the effect of the power charge. But if one of your units, if you move your unit, then it disrupts the power charging. Okay, so now we're good to go. So now it's tactics time. So what I usually do is crouch and then position them. Oh, and then make sure that everyone is engaged. So this is stealth, the ear, and this is engaged. So the difference is when they're on stealth, it's really not stealthy, but they're more on quiet mode, basically, in infiltration mode. So what that means is even if they see enemies, they won't fire. But when they're on assault mode, they will fire immediately. So I just want to make sure that everyone's on assault mode. And then before I pop them up, I want these guys. So you can see here also, there's a formation. If you select more than unit, you could press X and C to rotate that formation. So I want to make sure that these guys are in position. Okay, so now they're in position. So now I can tell him to pop out. This one, go up. This one, and then stand up. Let's see. Okay, so now I have everyone. Everyone has a command, and let's see. Okay, so I cleared that. I've talked about the effective weapon range. As you can see, this is the heavy, and he has. This is just a tutorial, basically. So that's basically what I'm doing. You right-click and drag to give the heavy to make it strafe. So strafing is moving from one point to another with a target in mind. And while the heavy is doing that, and again the effective weapon range for the heavy is far, so he should be able to take care of a lot of these guys, and then that should allow him to cover the movements of the rest of your team. So I usually sprint. And then you could actually tell them once they go. So same thing with the enemies. So you have to be. They have. They also have effective weapon range, but they're more trigger happy than the players because they're not as disciplined. For them, they're programmed. The automatons are programmed to just fire at the side of the enemies. So what I'm trying to do here is position them, and then so I have this tech unit because it has a good range, and then I want him to get out, to pop out of cover once he gets there. Same thing with the. So there's no point right now to have me pop out this CQS because no one is in his range. But now I have this guy there, and this guy's in range. So if I pop him out, that will be a deadly. See, now I could have that covered, and while I have that covered, these guys can cover these guys. Now I can penetrate a little bit more, and then I can start moving my CQS. Ooh, where is it? There you go. So the CQS, as you can see, if you can, so what the enemy will do if some of your longer range units are hitting them, they'll go back to cover. So that is how my personal style is. That's what I do. I cover the advance of my CQSs, and then I have once they're in range, I sprint. So I want this guy to go down. Uh-oh. Okay. So this guy is free from threat. So I want my tech to come here, cover that, and then this one I need to. And that's what the CQSs do once you get them in range. Alright, so it seems like we've cleared this section. Okay, Anyone can open the door if you click on any unit, as you can see. Just hover over the door and anyone can open it or hack it. But as you can see, the CQS has 10 seconds to do that. And same thing with the heavy. But if you do it with the tech, that's his specialization, so it's a little bit less. And these are the kind of things, as you play the beta, and these are the kind of things that we would really appreciate your feedback on, in terms of balancing. If you feel that the tech should, it's not much difference between the other units and the tech, that the tech should have a better advantage on hacking doors, just let us know. So what I do, this is a blind area. So what I do, I advance my heavy first, because she has a longer range and she can take more damage. Uh-oh. Okay, so now I see that there's an enemy there. I could have I could have that guy covered. Maybe. Okay, so this is. Oh, nope. Alright, so that last enemy is cleared. I didn't need my CQS. I was positioning them to flank the enemy there, but the heavy took care of them. So now it's time to extract. So you could, if you have everyone in the screen, you could just select all of them and double click. So again, right click to walk, double click to sprint. And even when you're in crouch, if you double click, it will override. When you're crouch, it will override the position. It will make it stand up. So what we're seeing right here are the cutscenes, and the cutscenes is where we are able to deliver a deep story in the world of Delphyq, full of twists and turns. So that was one of the things that we really wanted to deliver, not just a really good gameplay, but we want to deliver a really good story that we can, that you can even discuss. And we want you to have the feeling of like you, after playing the game, you almost felt like you watched a Mission Impossible movie. So I'll just skip this cutscene for now, but you could feel free to watch it when you're playing the beta. Okay. Okay, so what we're seeing here is a simulation of the plan, and this is what one of the core features of Delphyq. So it's very similar to the planning stage in the original Rainbow Six when it first came out, I think back in the 90s. So you could see that there's a primary objective, and if you just read through this, if you're playing the beta, I would suggest read through this, and you'll be more familiar with objectives and what the planning stage would be about. So these are objectives. There's primary objective, there's secondary objectives, and loot objectives. The primary and secondary objectives advances the story. The loot objectives gives you the rare currency that you may need in the world of Delphyq to get more intel, or if you don't have enough intel, or sometimes to heal your units. So this is the insertion point, and that's your extraction point. So, and these are the enemy units. So in the game, if you have the enemy unit intel, it will show up. If you don't, it will not show up, and you're going in blind. So as much as possible, the more intel you have for a mission, the better. And it's Paradigms is asking about the pronunciation. It's basically Delphyq. It's if you want to spell it like how it's pronounced, it's Delphyk. So anyway, in the actual game, you would be the one choosing your insertion point, choosing your route, and as you go through your route, you will there's actually, as you plan your route, there's actually an effect in game, but this is just the tutorial. So you just, to create the route, you just click on areas where you want to go, and then it will automatically create the route for you. Okay, so response timer. This is where once you are detected, once the enemies detect that there's a threat in the vicinity, it will trigger the response timer, and that is where reinforcement come in. So basically, as you plan, you really want to look into the response timer, and as the more routes, the longer the route you take, the higher the risk. But if you feel that you could take it on, if you feel that you could do it, feel free to take higher risk. But just remember that there's permadeath in the game, and that's something that you always would want to consider. There's also hack points. So basically, each hack, you have 10 hack points. You could hack objectives, you could hack doors, and when you hack them, it takes less time, or it takes away from the time of your plan. So there, you left click on, it's telling me you left, so I could, and then you could also purchase. This is why the loot intel loot objectives are important, because that's where you get money to purchase and acquire intel if you don't have it. But the best way to get intel for the next missions is to get as many objectives as you can, especially the primary and the secondary objectives. So it's a balance. It's a balancing act between getting as many objectives as you can before the reinforcement comes in, and at the same time you have to monitor the health of your units. Okay, so right now I think we could, if you, as you can see, as I click on the doors, the time is shaved. So we will still be balancing this, but that's what the hacking points are for. And then, okay, so let's execute the plan. Execute the plan. Later on, I don't know if in the demo. Oh, here, you could actually choose your skills. This is not discussed in the tutorial, but I'd like to let you know. So if you click on here, each unit will have different abilities, and you can only choose two. Right now, the third ability is locked. You can only choose two out of three, and so then you could just if you want to know what each ability does, hover over them. I think I'm good with the assassin. I have the hyper dart, which is an insta kill, and invisibility. But you have to, if you will notice, each ability will have a cost. The stronger it is, the higher the cost. And there are passive abilities as well. So yeah, I'll let you guys discover and learn. This is part of the learning curve, but as you learn all these things, it will just make the game more enjoyable. So I think I'm good with that. What is this? Run and gun. This is stun grenade. Okay, so maybe I should. I should probably. I think. Okay, let's try this. That is a passive. Okay. Oh, this one is the remote turret is one of the team's favorites. So let's do that. So I could show you that later. Quick shot, Timothy mine, short circuit. I think I'm good with what I have right now. This energy shield, adrenaline. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do energy shield, DMP, autonomous turret. Okay. All right. I think I've selected the abilities and I'm good to go. And let's go to the mission. So there's a question. How did you guys come up with the name anyway? So it's a long story, but so Delphyq came from the word Delphi, and Delphi is the Oracle of Delphi is basically where it came from. If you look that up, it's basically essentially what it means is nothing is what it seems in the world of Delphic, and that's basically what the Oracle of Delphi that story is. So there was it's a Greek mythology. One of the warriors went to the oracle, and the oracle said there will be a big kingdom that would come and be very successful, and he thought it was his kingdom or his army that would dominate, but the oracle was actually referring to the Persian army that went on to Greece. It's an interesting story, but that's the inspiration of it. Because, like I said, the Delphic has a really deep story of twists and turns. The only thing I can tell you is in Delphic, nothing is what it seems. Okay, let me just, before I continue, let me just go through any of these. Okay, I guess that's good. So after the tutorial, then part 2 of this level that you will be playing if you download the beta is you're on your own. This is where you apply everything that you've learned in the tutorial. Like I said, you could always, if you forget how something works, or You can always just press escape and just go to the tutorial. Okay. So as you can see, I'm wondering. Yes, there's. So you see this enemy. So what I'm gonna do is I get my sniper. Now that I have my sniper, so he's still in infiltration mode, and he's not in. So he won't fire immediately. But what I will do is, and then you could actually select and right-click on a particular enemy. So at this point, you could either just use regular, or you could use one of the abilities. Headshot will require power, but as you can see, as you hover over it, you will see how much power it will be taken away. So just to keep, bear in mind that the power is not just for your abilities, but it also serves as it powers up your suit, which also serves as your armor. So if you don't have power anymore and you get hit, then you're most likely to go down. So I'm not gonna choose the headshot. And then this is aim time, so I took care of him. So as you can see, if you guys notice that there's a circle, and that's the aim time. And each of the units, the different classes will have different aim times. Like the one of the longest is probably the sniper. Next is the assassin, but they're very deadly once they're able to hit. So now I feel that I could advance these guys. So I got the assassin covering this area. Oh, the stealth. Uh-oh. Not able to click and drag. I wonder why. So you could also click and control, but the control is also a toggle. So maybe that's something that we could work on. The control is a toggle to show everyone's effective weapon range. As you can see, it varies. And this is the sniper. This is the heavy. But let me take that down. So maybe, can I hit that? So my sniper is out of range, as you can see. So what I'm trying to do, if that enemy unit sees us, then it will, and if it realizes that there's enemy in the vicinity. Oh wow, I can't select anyone. So no. I want to. Oh, I cannot select everyone. But I can if I press on control. So maybe that's a bug. I just want to make sure that everyone is on assault mode. Then I can. Where's my other CQs? You could also select your units from here. So I could do that. And when you go onto a corner, it will show up. Let me show you here. If I hover over this guy, you will see that she's not exposed, but you are able to look at that angle. You will see in the what the cone is covering. And same thing here. See, so now I don't want to pop him out because he's not in range, and I want to kill him instantly before he gets to call the reinforcement timer. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to get this guy to sneak behind him. Oh, actually, you know what? It will cause a sound. What I could also do is maybe the assassin. Okay, this is a good way to use the assassin. So I want to, yeah. Here, yeah, so I'm gonna use the assassin and then use his hyper dart. So once I'm in range, I want him to sprint to get him in range. See, now I'm kind of calculating how the distance of his EWR. So I want to sprint here, or even just here, okay, and then oh, I forgot to use the hyper dart. So he survived, so now he automatically detects that there's an enemy. So now, as you can see, I wasn't able to take advantage of the infiltration mode. If I used the hyper dart and killed that, then I would have been able to advance even more without triggering the reinforcement timer. Now that the reinforcement timer has been triggered, I have 13 minutes before the reinforcement arrives, so now it's all out battle. So that what that is the closest semblance to a stealth game. So now I could make sure. Uh-oh. Sometimes. There. Don't forget, I usually forget my sniper. I could position him here. Sometimes I hesitate to separate my units, but I kind of want to put my sniper on this side so I could cover this area. So I know there's no enemy here because this guy is looking this direction. Okay, I'm gonna try to split. And I need a CQS, a short range guy, go over here. Okay. So now I see the enemy here. I could coordinate them, pop out, you go here, you. So as you can see, when you're hitting an enemy, it glows, and that means they're getting hit and they're in shock. So they cannot, or they're getting staggered. So that is the combat in Delphyq is about who is able to hit first. And once you hit first, the barrage of the bullets will allow you to kill them before they're able to fire. It will disrupt their aim time, basically. So now I have someone looking that direction, and I could see. So now I could have her attack that guy, and I will have him ambush this, and I need you to go over here. So I'm covering all my angles. And that's the CQS. So here, if I pop out the tech, I know that the CQS, enemy CQS, is fast, very deadly at close range. So I don't want to fight him with a a slow unit with a small shorter range and a slower rate of fire. So what I will do is I'll have him go here and then pop out, and that should, and then I'll position my CQS here so that when this gets into range, there you go. And as you can see, the aim time for that enemy CQS was paused because I got the first hit. So now I know there's no one here, probably, because I have my sniper look, but just to make sure. And then at the same time, so this is how I play. There's a lot of different play styles, but whenever I play, this is the reason why I, even though I've been testing this game for many years now, I still enjoy every single time because I just get into it. I like the tactics part. And I really think about the moves. The EWR. For those who just joined us, EWR is the effective weapon range. So now I have 2 axes to get into this area. And I have 12 minutes, so okay. So I can. Usually, if I split my team, I usually have a CQS right at the door, just in case there's an enemy there. I could bring there. My sniper, where's my sniper? Okay. So I have 4 guys positioned here and 3 guys positioned there. So let me 7.5. Oh wow. Okay. So that's what I was talking about. So I'm glad that so I will be shooting first. As you can see, all my aim time is already there. It's a surprise, but now I should have. No, not you. Open the door. Uh-oh. 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 Okay, now it's time to use my stun gun or stun grenade, and maybe the grenade here. Ooh, ooh, it's getting blocked. Uh-oh. Right click to cancel on the ability. So this guy needs to kill that. So I'm right clicking just to assign. And so okay. So well the assassin is taking a little bit of time, and the door will close. The door will automatically open for enemy units. But as if you haven't opened the doors yet, if you haven't hacked the door, it will close once the enemy unit is not within the vicinity. So now I have to concentrate here. I'm getting hit. Where's my CQS? Got my CQS. There. Okay, I need to. Hey, kill that. Ooh, ooh, oh, 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 wow. Oh, it's taking too long. I made a mistake by over that. My CQS is damaged. My sniper should. Okay, I think we're good. Let me look at the questions if you have any. Not sure what you mean by funnel paradigm. Okay, so I know. Oh, there's a sniper there, so I have to be very careful. So I need. So the best thing to deal with sniper is killing it with your sniper as well. So I saw that it went over there. How am I seeing that? So maybe I could go here. What I usually do, instead of positioning myself out in the open, I go to cover and then just pop out. Because if you're in cover, the damage that you will take is less than what the normal damage if you were out of cover. Is half, actually. Half the damage of what it would be if you get hit out and you're not in cover. So now, does this? Yes. So because I think, oh, and then it ran. So because it's running, I want to kill it. So I'm just gonna do the headshot immediately. Oh, it didn't work. What was it? Headshot. Why didn't it work? Dang it. Did I hit it? No, I missed. Ugh. I'm hesitant to bring my CQS because he's kind of damaged. So I need to refill my CQS with the tech. Ooh, ooh. So I could do that with the CQS, especially when I know that the enemy unit is not as deadly as in close range. So I do this here, and then you. Oh, okay. That's the assassin at work. I need power for. So as you can see, I know I have this alley covered, and so I could advance. Maybe. So by positioning my assassin here, I know I have this alley covered. So the green is your life, so I kind of want to refresh everyone. Okay, so now they're back. As I do this, I'm just being conscious. Oh, there's an enemy there. See, okay, I don't want to do that. I think what I could do there is use my longer range unit. Oh, no. Oh, it's not allowing me unless it's not allowing me to click and drag anymore unless I press control. So maybe that's a bug that we could look into. But I need to make sure that I've taken care of everyone here. So you. Okay, so no one's here. I think we're done. So now I'm going. I know I'm having to raid this room. So I think it's. So I'm having to press control to be able to select and drag multiple units. But that shouldn't be the behavior. Okay, 1, 2 for all my units. So the assassin is very low on armor, so I wouldn't put him on the front lines. But it has very, very good. The assassin has a very good use. Oh, I want to cover here. So sometimes you would want to cover somewhere by the door jams, and if it doesn't allow you, maybe that is a bug. Especially on door jams, so just let us know. I would really appreciate it. So I'm just positioning my units here for now. And I'm all the time I'm being aware of the reinforcement timer. They still have 9 minutes. Now that it's open, I want to make sure that the alley is secured by my sniper. Okay, command queues, you could, yeah, basically multiple waypoints, and at each waypoint you could ask them to do something. You could ask them to crouch. So like for example here, I'll create a waypoint here. When he gets there, I want him to crouch and then move again. So that is the use of the command queue. And then when he gets there, I want him to stand. There you go. So minimap is also important. You will see where the enemy locations are if you had the enemy intel. If not, then you're, like I said earlier, you're going in blind. So now I know that there are 3 enemies here, so that's what I need to prepare for. So what I think I could do is I could have this guy open it, and then now that I'm in position, I could give you guys something interesting. So okay, this is where the wait and call and wait for go codes becomes important for me. So I like, you don't have to use it because it's kind of complicated, but if you're familiar with the go codes and door kickers, it's very similar. But why I like using it, it's more it's more satisfying when you're able to raid a room with your units fully coordinated. So I want him to walk there and then call a go code there. Once he calls a go code there, this guy is waiting for go code A. This guy will call go code A there. This guy is waiting for go code A, and once it's a that go code is called, he's gonna go there. Oh no! Once that, I'm gonna have him run there and then throw an EMP here, and then this guy, once it's go code, I'm gonna have him run here and then place, oh no, not that one, throw a grenade here. So basically, and then I could also have him wait for a go code. Once the and then if he goes, and then I want him to just raid. Now, it's not such a good plan because I wasn't able to coordinate with the guys here, but as you can see, I think this is a bug, but it should be, the walls should be transparent at this point. so that you're able to okay, clear. Room cleared. So what do we do? Get everyone in one spot. And then heal everyone, and then power up everyone. Okay. All right, now I look at my minimap and I know I'm here and this is my primary objective, so I could either go this way or go that way. And I have 8 minutes. So I'll choose to go, let's hack this door. Normally I would normally I would split them up, split the team up in two, and sandwich the guys over here. But maybe I could try just to make it a little bit faster. Maybe I could try. It's annoying that I'm not able to to group select without having to go press control. So when I run like that, it's most likely that I've alerted the guys inside. But let's see. Okay. I want to go here behind cover and then throw. Throw flashbang here. Then once you throw, I want you to stay in cover here and out. So then all these guys can infiltrate. So I'm being careless right now because I'm trying to play the game faster. Did the flashbang work? Yeah. So now the flashbang has come on. So I guess all of you should. Oh, dang it. Oh, so I advanced the heavy, and I didn't realize that there's a CQS there, which I am totally disadvantaged. And now I have to, where's my assassin? I have to save this guy by doing an insta-kill. Okay, stop. Hyper dart. Good. There we go. So those are the kind of tricks that you could do to get your one of your units that's really in trouble. So it's just the combination of everything that you could do. And I think we've cleared. Did we clear this area? Yes, we did. Okay, so I need again replenishing time. I ran out of battery, but I know there is a power station here from my intel here. If you don't have that intel, then you won't know, but you could still find power stations if it's in direct line of sight of one of your units. So what I'm doing here, the guys who need power, I'm getting them there, so that I could transfer them while I'm recharging my battery pack. Okay, now I'm all fully charged, then I could get all of these guys. Them here. Because now it's time. Let's get the primary objective.
Intel found. Uploading now.
And heal our units. As you can see here also, that is an optional objectives. So make sure you pick up all objectives that you can find or run across. Or come across.
Intel found. Uploading now.
Okay, so now we got all the objectives that we could get here. Actually, I need to get this objective. I forgot. Did I miss any objectives from here? No. So I need to get all these objectives. There's my deck.
Intel found. Uploading now.
Ooh. So I want the sniper to move back. Yes. Okay, I got that. Didn't take cover. Ooh, there's a sniper. Okay, I need to kill that. Headshot. Why is it not? Why can't I hit it? Uh-oh, uh-oh. So now try the headshot with this. There we go. So I'm not sure why it wasn't working a while ago. We'll look into it. But now that I've used that ability, and I was getting hit, I'm now out of power. So I have to retreat and get some power from tech. While I advance some of these guys. So all of you guys can go here. Except for this, I need you. Okay. So I know there's an enemy here because this is the last scene objective. So what I will do is bring my 2 CQSs. I just want to make sure that there's no more enemy. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. So that's what I meant. You have to open the door first. So I need to cancel all the commands for these guys and then get the tech to open the door. Okay. Then here. Where's the tech? So now I know we're on the last stretch. We have to deal with these guys. I know there's a sniper somewhere. So I want to know, but I know that there's no more enemies here. So I want to make sure that my approach is methodical. And I do that by putting the longest range unit first. Then sending the assassin to do the hacking. There it is. So that's my landscape.
Intel found.
And I can
Intel found. Uploading now.
position first. So right now I'm letting my sniper do the talking. It will get as many as it can. Ooh. But I have to be very careful, be very conscious about this enemy sniper, because once I see him aim with aim time, I need to check whether any of my units are threatened. And I cannot shoot. Ooh, I missed. Okay. What can I do? What can I do? I still this is a very good ambush place, so you have to be very careful. So what I need to deal with that sniper first. Maybe I could come here and then go out. No, 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 no. Okay, so there are two possible targets for the sniper. As you can see, the sniper is already aiming. So I'm having this guy pop in, and but I won't. I let him do his normal aim time because I know he has the advantage. There. So I didn't have to use my headshot. So those are the kind of things that you have to be um, you might want to watch out for, so that you're not always using your abilities and saving your abilities when you really need them. So now what I could do is put a turret here. And so the turret will mimic the heavy's action. So if it has a target, it will target the same. Yeah. So now I can little by little, because I don't see any sniper anymore. Can I take cover here? Okay, now I'm advancing my CQSs, which is important. Where's my CQS? Okay, there's a CQS there. So I need to make sure. Okay, that's a good position. Now I can advance my sniper a little bit more to help support my team, and then I can advance my CQSs. Okay, so where's my sniper? Okay, he's covering there. I could do this. Advance my heavy. Then I could really. Oh, out of range. I'll wait a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait until this guy. I need to take care of this. Guess I can position my sniper here. And take care of this pesky enemy with my assassin. Where's my assassin? Okay. There we go. All right. I think I can. How many more units here? 1, 2, 3. They're all bunched up, so I can throw a flash grenade. Ugh. Will it allow me? Yes. So this is where you have to be very careful because once it's red, it's either, as you can see, it hits here. So you want to make sure that when you throw a throwable, it's green. So I'm gonna do that, and then once that is go, I want these guys to run and ambush. So now I can. Ooh, I forgot. Ugh, the door is still locked. So that is the beauty of the CKS and the stun grenade. Okay, I think we are almost there. I just need to pick up the objectives here. So if you have time, like I still have 2 minutes left before reinforcement comes in. I want to make sure, go back to my minimap and take all the objectives. Make sure that I've already taken all the objectives, because that will give you more intel on the next mission. So I have 3 here that I need to take. So that guy's getting it. You get this one, then you get that one. Then once you get that, extract, go here, and everyone else go here. Oops.
Found it. Uploading info now.
Uploading now.
And I want to show you what happens when the reinforcement timer goes out. So that is the audio warning. So it's either we I guess, yeah, it's only 1.5 minutes. So once the reinforcement, so right now we could actually extract, but I want to show what happens when reinforcement arrive. So when reinforcement arrive, depending on the map, you will see reinforcements actually running and getting to your area. So I'm anticipating with this map, the reinforcement will be coming from here. That's why I have my sniper ready and maybe another backup. Okay, 48. Meanwhile, I'm positioning everyone ready for extraction. you'll have audio cues as you could, if you could hear it. So be aware of everything. There we go. So that's what happens, and then once the reinforcement starts arriving, it will just be a continuous influx of enemies. So now that I've shown you there, time to extract. What are those two? All right, time to GTFO. And that's the tutorial. So I hope you guys, so the 7 viewers that we have, unfortunately, I hope you guys enjoyed. And hopefully you picked up some valuable tips and tricks on how to play the game and how to enjoy it, as we would hope you would. Okay, so that's it, and I hope to see you in the next stream, whenever that would be. Hopefully we'll have bigger audience and more engagement. And that's it.